Please don't push me.
Please don't push me, but y'all push B. Now we got dwellers from Cali to Flatbush B. Now they got heat on their feet that say press B. And now we so deep in the streets, y'all can't stress me. Can't curse me, then bless me. I'm crucifying my flesh, that's less me. SAT'd from preaching, can't test me. Atheists are now believing, that bless me. Yeah, we got the basement replacing any of those worldly pursuits that y'all chasing, any of those trials and tests that y'all facing, any of the relationships that y'all changing. We rearranging, making the shame shift, giving Satan back what's his, that's the blame shift. Rise up and walk commands, that's the lame shift. Cheat codes for living this life, that's the game shift. All on Yeshua, man, the rest is manure, man. I'm dying daily, so I rise up a purer man. Pressing B daily, so my sins looking fewer, man. Washing the blood, so my sins down the sewer, man. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Welcome to the basement, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Tim Ross.
Yes, you
and
are.
with me today. My girlfriend, the joy of my life, my glory, my story, my delight, my gift, my Valentine's Day in perpetuity.
Yes. Happy V-Day, my love.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. This is a special Valentine's Day edition of B-Side Basement, all the things.
Come on, let's get it.
And I'm super excited about it. I want everybody to know that we are live and direct. We are bringing it to your set. We got now. We don't care who got next. And as a result, because we're doing this exclusively for our B-side people.
I love it.
All of our questions that we're going to be answering today are from our Discord chat.
Okay.
So if you're in the live chat, we're happy you're here. We love you.
Hey, Discord.
But we're only answering questions from the Discord chat. I just want to say this up front.
All right.
If you are in our live chat on YouTube and you ask us a question, we're not ignoring you. We're just only answering questions in the Discord chat. If you decide to spam questions in the live chat on YouTube, we are not ignoring you. 4, we are only answering questions in the Discord chat. If you come in 15 minutes late and decide to ask a question in the YouTube live chat, we are only answering questions in the Discord app.
It's true.
So that's what I wanted to say. And, let me start off this whole live. Oh, let me turn this down.
Yes.
Let me start off this live just saying that I love you.
I love you, sweetheart.
That's what I mean.
I'm so glad to be here. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It has been a long
I
time.
shouldn't have left you without a strong
beat to step 2.
step 2.
Step 2.
Step 2. Step to step 2. Step 2.
You got to sing the ad-libs.
Yeah, so I love you heaps, tons.
For sure.
And like this day is in a lot of ways another day to us.
That's what I was going to say. This Valentine's Day for us has always been a non-essential.
Absolutely correct.
It just has. Often, we've for 26, we've been together 26 years.
26 years, yeah.
And so for 26 years, I don't think we've ever let Valentine's Day dictate to us. You've always been very loving.
Yep.
And so we always have just because days, regular days, spontaneous days are our Valentine's days.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this day is, I love the way you put that. It is a non-essential.
It's a non-essential. But it is essential for some people.
Absolutely
right?
correct.
So
Yeah,
people that don't necessarily have that type of relationship, it is important to them that they feel acknowledged today. So Happy Valentine's
Happy
to all
Valentine's
of
Day.
you out there, or Galentines to all the single ladies and all the single brothers.
So
Now, what do we call it for the guys?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If it's Galentine's
Galentine's
for
is
the
for
girls,
girls.
what is it for boys?
Did you say broentines? Manentines?
Ginentines? That sounds like a very sophisticated disease.
It does. It does.
That you only get in the suburbs.
Not the suburb. Not a suburban disease.
It seems like a disease you only get if you're making high six figures. Be like I was promiscuous in Highland Park and got a little bit of that Ginentine's disease.
That's funny.
Yo, Ginentine's is wild.
That is funny.
Somebody said Valentine's. Fellatines?
Oh, fellatines?
It's terrible. All of it.
It is pretty bad.
Let's not
That's
wordsmith
okay.
it. It's terrible. All of it's
bad.
terrible.
We just didn't want to leave the brothers out. The single brothers who are out there today.
So yeah,
we just
for
didn't
sure.
want to leave them out.
So I did read the top of an article. I didn't actually read the article, but the top of the article that made me want to click it, and it just wasn't compelling enough for me to, because I felt like I had all the information by the top article.
Sure.
The top article was that over half of the Americans in the United States are unmarried, and they said over half, and they actually said that's good for business for Valentine's Day.
Because they're not married?
Because they're not married. Because everybody, that's when all the roses,
That's
like
true.
a lot of, again, you know how we feel. Like if Valentine's Day is the only time you get flowers, the only time
That's
I tell you
true.
I love you, the only time you get a chocolate, the only time I want to date you, the only time I want to take you
That's
out
right. It's gonna
to
be
a
a
night
big deal.
nice restaurant, then I actually suck all year.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Like if Valentine's Day is the Super Bowl of my
Affection,
expression of
yes.
affection to you,
Yes.
I suck.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So and vice versa, right?
And vice versa.
And so for a lot of people that are unmarried that are trying to win the hearts of somebody,
Yes. Yeah.
that's who's buying all these flowers, and that's who's
True.
getting all this chocolate purchased.
Well, I would think that the average married couple, the husband or the wife, should still be giving or would be inclined to give their spouse some flowers on this day as well.
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
chose to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
A lot of
something
it can
we
be
did.
a lot of it can be peer pressure though. You know what I
It can-
mean?
yeah,
like
yeah,
like
yeah, it
like
can.
like I mean, we are both business owners, so it's not like you're working a job and I'm working a job
Right.
and I'm sending you flowers at your job, and,
Yeah.
and if maybe five other women at your job that are married or dating somebody,
Sure.
they all get these bouquets, and then you get nothing.
It's
It
the
can be
truth.
peer pressure for some people.
It
You know
can.
what I mean?
Yeah, it
And
can.
Then it could be a battle of you got a single rose and then you got a dozen, but this person sent 5 dozen roses. He sent a dozen roses every hour that you were at work. Like, you know, it starts getting obnoxious.
Listen,
and all them flowers gonna die.
It will die. It's just it's the celebration of yourself for that day. I know many women. I don't know any man that has done this, but I do know many women that have sent themselves flowers.
Yeah.
That have bought themselves their own chocolates. That have bought themselves their own teddy bear and celebrated themselves
Took
for
themselves out.
that day. They sure did, and I celebrate it. Whatever makes you feel good, be great.
Hopefully they didn't like dry hump the
Lord have
teddy
mercy.
bear
Oh Lord.
when they get home.
Somebody get Tim.
I'm just I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I just hope they just kept it on the up and up with the teddy bear.
It's just, oh Lord, I'm sorry, guys. Good night.
Gallant
Charlie.
and Valentine is Galentine. So anyway, so we just wanted to talk about stuff,
Yeah.
and we wanted
Let's
to
talk about it.
we wanted to answer some people's questions, and yeah, maybe we should just. Do we just want to start?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Are there some good questions?
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there?
yeah. We're answering only relationship questions today.
All right.
All relationship stuff.
And I'd love like really good questions.
Well, baby, no pressure on people. Like,
No, I just like really when people have like really like questions that really mean something to them, not like just I don't know. I get questions all the time.
you do.
I do. And sometimes it's like, come on, guys, you just can think that one through.
Well, maybe they couldn't.
Maybe they couldn't.
Until they asked. What did your teacher tell you?
If you raise your hand for 5 minutes, you're stupid for 5 minutes. But if you never raise your hand, you're stupid forever. I can't believe you brought that up. He hates when I tell that story. You brought it up.
But
and
it applies here. It applies right here.
It applies. It is such a great thing.
Yeah, but you've used it at times.
I use it all the time.
Where I feel like it didn't apply.
There's no cheesy questions.
There's no cheesy questions.
I just like deep and meaningfuls.
I understand.
I like deep and meaningfuls. Like, let's just get straight to the point.
You are a straight to the point girl.
I am. I'm a straight to the point girl. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so here's one from Andrea P. in the Chateau on our Discord channel, because that's all the questions we're answering is just from our Discord channel. I'm just keep saying that over and over again until everybody knows.
They'll
like,
get it.
go to Discord. All right, so it says, Happy Valentine's. I struggle with relationships lately. I've been living a pure life for 4 years, free of same-sex relationship, and my last relationship was a manipulative pastor who I constantly had to have boundaries when it came to purity. So lately, I'm not sure if I'm overly compensating, like not being alone, but also want to get to know a person. I'm very self-aware, and I read people well, and God's been working on me with that. I just have insecurity by not wanting to see people as objects. Makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. Therapy helps, but I just need help with the dating boundaries. Obviously, no sex, not wanting to have it till marriage again. Am I overly compensating because of that one relationship with that pastor? That pastor was a guy. Got it. Thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, thanks, Andrea.
So this is a good, actually.
That's what I'm talking about. To the point.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And obviously, you're definitely a basement dweller because of your authenticity and your vulnerability. So you've been in same-sex relationships, and then you were in a relationship with the opposite sex, and it happened to be a manipulative pastor. That just sucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, Andrew, I'm
a manipulative person, period. Yeah. But when it's a pastor,
I hate it.
It just compounds the situation.
Well, and church hurt just, that is the one thing that breaks my heart the most.
Yeah.
So all that right there that's heartbreaking.
Yep. So let's address you being with this manipulative man and having to like navigate that whole thing, and then you get out of that relationship, and now you're like, I don't even know if I want to get in another relationship.
Sure.
Right? You know what I mean?
That's understandable.
And that's completely understandable. When you come out of a hellacious relationship, you need to take all the time you need.
Absolutely all the time.
Like, I think a lot of people rebound way too fast.
They do.
And they wind up like jumping back in as like a statement to the previous relationship. Right. Like, you didn't hurt me. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's change the word. Maybe you're not trying to prove, maybe it's not about proving you didn't hurt me. Maybe what you need to say is, I'm not going to let you affect me.
Right.
But I am going to take the time to recover from what you did.
Right.
You didn't hurt me, but you did have an effect on me. Surviving a manipulative relationship has an effect on you.
It does. And oftentimes when people are hurt, the one thing that they want to do is react.
Correct.
So the reaction is, let me go be with somebody else to hurt them. But really, you're just hurting yourself.
That's all. You're hurting yourself twice.
Yeah, you're just hurting yourself more. But you're not thinking that in the moment.
Yeah.
So I definitely encourage, don't be with anybody. You're in no rush against any time. You're in no rush to be with. There's no pressure. I hope you don't feel any pressure.
Take all the time you need to get by. Hey, take all the time you need to get by.
It's true. And I think if you take the time, Andrea, keep it going. That's good. That's good. I think if you take all the time you need, when you're truly ready and you truly get healed from all of this, you'll know what to look out for, what not to look out for. you won't get caught in whatever got you in this manipulative situation with this pastor, because that's difficult. But I think you will have a different type of awareness and perspective to know what to look out for next time, for sure. You'll just do things differently. And I just hope, I hope you take that time, because you'll need it. This background music is
You told me to keep it going.
I know.
You told me to keep it going.
It was so great. We got to do that for all these answers from henceforth here on out.
No, the psalm just came to me.
It
huh?
did. It
the
came.
little remix just zhuzhed up
Listen, the
and the
answer.
advice you gave I thought was good.
Well, yeah, it was just a simple advice. I mean, I appreciate. I hate that for her.
Me too. That
I just
sucks.
hate that for her.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like
I don't like bad people.
I don't either.
I don't like bad people.
I don't like bad people.
I hate when people
either.
manipulate.
I hate it too.
Yeah, because you don't understand necessarily that you're the one being manipulated.
Correct.
So you fall into this trap.
Oh, absolutely correct.
And then by the time your eyes get open, so much damage would have happened.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's so much recovery time.
Yes.
And then you want to punch the air,
yes.
kick the cat and slap the dog, because now you feel like I realize I just got.
Right. Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
I realize I just got. So now you mad at yourself.
Yep.
So there is a couple of things that have to take place. There's a forgiveness that has to take place, right?
Cook, girl.
You've got to be able to forgive yourself for feeling like, how did I let that happen?
Right.
How did I let that happen
Yeah.
to me?
Yep.
I'm smarter than that, right? You got to forgive the person, because
For sure.
they're whack,
Yeah.
right? So you got to forgive them.
Yeah.
And even though I'm saying these words lightly, it's a hard thing to ask somebody to forgive them for taking advantage of you, and a person that would have abused you or take advantage. So, so when I say this, I don't mean it flippantly at all, or just be like, oh, just forgive them. No, that takes time.
It does.
That takes a lot of time, and forgiveness is a big thing. So I'm not even saying to forget. Only thing I'm saying is, what forgiveness does is it says, I'm not going to allow you and allow what you did to have control and power over me and dictate the rest of my feelings and my actions and my mindset going forward.
It's good.
I will not allow it to have power in my mind, in my heart, in my emotions. And so that's what forgiveness is. It's this doesn't control me anymore.
Yeah.
I remember what happened.
Yep.
But it's not going to be the dictator of my life,
Yep.
the actions that you've done to me. So that's why I always believe it's good to forgive people so that you can move on. But you have to forgive yourself. And for yourself feeling like, I allowed that to happen. Listen, life happens. Things happen to people. We don't always know everything. We don't always see the sign. And then if we do see the sign, sometimes in really honest scenarios, we do see red flags that we still, we turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's a scenario as well. And so if we're honest in certain situations, we'll say, man, I knew better. And then I'm going to still say, still forgive yourself. Right? Because we're not perfect. So yes, you could have seen the red flag. You could have ignored the red flag. You could have seen that red flag pop up again, and you could have ignored it again. But at the moment you get your aha, and you don't ignore it, and you actually do something about it, that's where you get celebrated. That's where you win, and that's where you can start making the better decisions to move forward.
I love you saying, like, forgiving yourself, because anytime somebody's asked me the question that they've asked themselves, how did I let this happen? You let it happen because you loved.
That's right.
You let it happen because you gave yourself permission to be vulnerable.
That's right.
You let it happen because you gave this person the benefit of the doubt.
That's right.
You didn't actually do anything wrong.
That's right.
You did something brave.
That's right.
You took a risk.
That's all it
right,
is.
right.
Yep.
Like, and
Yep.
anytime you will open yourself up, there's always the risk you're going to be hurt.
That's right.
But the depth of relational equity takes bravery.
Yes, it does.
And you're going to only have a surface relationship if you're not brave enough
That's right.
to risk opening up
That's right.
with the potential that you could be hurt.
That's right.
that you could be taken advantage of.
That's
that
right.
somebody could manipulate you.
That's right.
That somebody could gaslight you.
That's right.
But if you're the one being brave.
That's right.
If you're saying, I trusted.
That's right.
I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
That's right.
I opened up. I shared my heart. I did not know it was going to be used against me.
Correct.
I did not know they were going to manipulate me.
Yep.
I did not know they were going to use this to do that.
That's right.
How could I let this happen to me? Well, yeah, you let it happen to you because you're brave.
That's right.
Not because you're naive.
Well, and in her situation, if it was a pastor, then that means they have a level of influence.
That's absolutely correct.
Right. So now that's an even different scenario.
Yep. That's what makes it nefarious.
Yeah,
though.
that's
because then
because if she didn't know better, the pastor did.
Absolutely correct.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Now, so let's just talk about the opposite end of that spectrum, where a person is being brave and opening up. There are many scenarios that I've spoke with people where I'm not saying this is you, Andrea, at all. I'm just saying if we flip what you're saying to the other end, there are some people that have gotten into relationships because of their own personal gain that they could get from it, or their own personal motive or prestige that they could get from being in this relationship. So they went in with eyes wide open, knowing the potential risk, and still did it anyway based on their own insecurities. So now that's a different type of not necessarily bravery, but you open up yourself up
Yep.
to being manipulated.
Yeah.
Easy. So sometimes we got to be honest when we have put ourselves in that situation openly.
Yep. Absolutely. You are so damn hot. It is such a freaking distraction.
Funny,
I
baby.
promise you, it's such a distraction.
Would you be opposed to a voice message question?
No, not at all. But
Jules, I
jeez,
turned up
Lord have mercy.
the headphones since they're on the couch. I turned them up as loud as possible, so you'll probably still be able to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can put it close to your ear. We don't want to mess up the cute hair.
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Hey everybody, this is Raquel. Quick question. I would like to know the difference between loving someone and being in love. I remember Miss Ross talking about the moment the Holy Spirit revealed to her that she was in fact in love with Mr. Ross. And so I want to know, I know that love is a action and more than necessarily just a feeling, but how do you know that you are quintessentially in love with someone? Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Aw. Good question. It's a good question. It's a hard question.
You got to answer that question,
Well, I
girl.
gotta answer that question.
Because listen,
It's your show.
she remembers. She remembers
This
Mrs.
is the basement
Ross.
with Tim Ross.
Nah, homie. She remembers
Oh
the
my
conversation where Mrs. Ross
That's true.
said,
That's true.
"Hey, I love you, but I'm not in love with you."
This is true. So I will say this. At the time, I was only 19. Was I 18 or 19?
You would have been.
I was 19.
You were about to.
No,
yeah,
no,
you were
no.
19, about
Yeah.
to turn 20.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
19. And so I was.
This is like 5 days before your birthday.
Was it?
Yes, it was, because it was June 21st. It was Father's Day. It was Father's Day.
He's so good with the dates.
Yeah.
He's very good with the
Yeah.
dates.
So it was actually 3 days before your birthday, 5 days
Yes.
before mine.
Do you guys know that the reason why I picked May 1st to be our wedding date was because it needed to be a day that I would remember? he wanted like April 15th, and I was like, we can't. That's tax day. And then he wanted
I wanted
like something-
November 2nd.
Yeah,
I
like
wanted,
some other odd day. And I'm like, I
it
would
wasn't
be the most
odd today.
terrible wife.
I'm trying to get to this honeymoon.
Not remembering when our anniversary was. I needed something easy.
Oh my gosh.
That's
She
how we
kept
got. I was
pushing
like,
that
I
date
can remember
back.
the first day of the month.
Unbelievable.
So I'm just saying that to say he's definitely much better with the dates. I trust his date time. Okay.
Thank you, baby.
But to answer your question, at the time I was 19, and so I was very young. I would probably have a different answer now. We're sentiment in a 32 and holding.
Juliette stopped counting at 32, and I keep
did.
getting older, and I'm going to be a pedophile by the time.
You look so young, honey.
Thank you, baby.
No matter what age you're going to be, you're still going to look like
All
you're in your
right,
30s.
but I'm going to be your sugar daddy in a minute.
That's okay, too.
Hey,
That is
let's
okay.
get it.
I've been 32 and holding for a while. I'm sticking to it. That's my age, and that's that. But the whole age is 32 and holding. You have to say the and holding.
It's the and holding part as well. Absolutely. It's very important.
That makes it true.
Yeah. That makes it true. It's hilarious.
Okay, so at the time, I was 19. So in my 19-year-old brain, I knew I loved him as a friend. However, I was also a young person who never wanted to be married. So I never had the desire to be married because in my head, I was like, I don't want to take care of no man. You know, that was my thought process at the time. And so I'm not the domesticated wife to like, I'm about to be at home, Susie Homemaker washing clothes and, you know, doing all these dishes and like being a housewife. Nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't me. And that's what I've seen modeled in my life. So I was like, yeah, no, that's not the purpose of my existence. For me, is to not necessarily do that or live that life. I'm very active. I'm very independent. And so at the time when he told me that he was in love with me, I just thought, we're kids. You know what I mean? What do you truly know about love? You ain't lived life long enough. You haven't had experiences enough to feel like you're in love with somebody. And so I just thought it was so absurd. And so I needed to have a Holy Spirit encounter to wake me up, or else we would have just still been friends, you know?
I wouldn't have been your friend.
Yeah. He told me he wouldn't have been my friend.
I made that very clear to you.
He made that very clear, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think we have to be honest with ourselves about being in love and loving somebody. So I think now in a mature state, or in a slightly older state, it's all about really making the decision of what that is. Are we truly in love with this person? No matter what they do, we're willing to work things out, or are we infatuated with this person? And that I just want to be with them so bad because of how they'll make me look or how they make me feel. They're not giving me that same vibe back, but I want them bad enough, but they're not investing that same time of love. You're just being infatuated with somebody. But if you're in love with somebody, that means you're willing to sacrifice things that you wouldn't normally sacrifice. You're willing to do things that, or be, or express, or make adjustments in your heart and life that you wouldn't just do for anybody else. You'll be willing to make a lot of adjustments. You'll be willing to communicate differently. You'll be willing to be like, you know what? This person is worth me changing a mindset, adjusting. You know what I mean? Changing the way I engage with them, right? If I'm used to being aggressive, or if I'm used to talking loud a certain way and they can't take that, but I love them this much, I'm willing to make sacrifices of myself for this person. That's what being in love with somebody would do. And loving somebody, well, I love a lot of people. I love a lot of people, but that doesn't necessarily mean I need to now change everything about me to make all these other people happy. Well, then I'd lose myself.
That's absolutely correct.
Right. So there would, at least, if there is one person that I wouldn't mind giving over, changing, adjusting, tweaking, opening up, being vulnerable, and giving my heart to, that's not necessarily going to be everybody. But there can be someone that I would do that with. And if they feel that way about you, now you're talking about, I think I'm in love with this person. So I think that's what we have to determine. I'm sure you love a lot of people. I'm sure you like a lot of people, love a lot of people, but there's just certain things that you may not necessarily do for the masses that you might go above and beyond for someone else. And then you want to just make sure that they're going to do those same sacrifices for you.
It's reciprocal.
And you want to make sure that they have the heart of God, hopefully, and you have the heart of God too. Now we're talking about the love and sacrifice of Christ. Okay, now there's a deeper, even more affectionate, Christ-like love that will anchor your relationship further than it just being heart and surface. So hopefully that
That's a beautiful answer.
answers that question.
I ain't got nothing else to add to that. That was squarely your question. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Aw.
Would you like another VM?
Yeah, hit us with another one.
Gotcha.
Hey, I have a question. Thank you all for doing questions related to relationships. I'm getting ready to celebrate my 10-year wedding anniversary here in May 24th. It'll be 10 years. Woohoo! And I just want to ask a question related to you both. What were 3 things, or even one, if you're short on time, that you learned at your 10-year mark that, you know, if you could share today for people like me who are celebrating 10 years, that you would give to them?
Oh, it's a good question.
It's a really good question. First of all,
Yeah, congratulations on 10 years.
congratulations on 10 years.
Yes.
Let's go. We are celebrating.
We celebrated big, and I just want to say this before you get started. I know you're going to answer this question. You know we're doing this show, Dearly Beloved, coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And in all the research for divorce, do you know the average divorce rate is the 5 to 7 years?
Interesting.
So I celebrate your 10 year. You
Absolutely.
made it past
Yeah, you made it past.
the
That's good.
marker for divorce rate.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, well, the 10-year mark was we're about to celebrate 25. so I'm thinking about the
So it's
10.
2009 then.
Yeah, it was 2009.
Yeah.
2009.
I had to count on my hands. I had to count my fingers like, where did that put us?
Yeah, okay, so our 10-year mark, 09 was
Isn't that Nathan?
Nathan was
He was 1.
he would have been turning 1.
Yes.
He was born. He would have been 1 that year. That was a year where we were holding the tension of transitioning from
That's
Potter's
right.
house.
That's right.
Um,
And we were newly, he was
we
born in 8.
Yep, we built that house in
Yep. Was it 7?
We built that house and moved in 07. So we were in a house for 2 years.
Yeah, new homeowners.
New homeowners.
New kid.
New kid. Our first child.
And our first child with health issues. He had to have surgery.
He had to have surgery.
He had allergies.
That's right. Absolutely.
So navigating those things.
Yep. Absolutely.
We were transitioning out from the church we were at. I transitioned early.
Yeah, you transitioned early,
From
but
the summertime.
09 we were still trying to figure out what that looked like. 10 is when we both knew. Like 10 was our last year. So 9 was.
No, I was gone summer of 09.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Yeah, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
we weren't clear on what was
That's
next.
right.
Yeah,
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
We were not clear on what was next. That
Yep.
was our 10 year.
Yep. So that was 10 years.
So that meant just a lot of praying.
Yeah. There was a lot of praying that year. As far as like our communication,
It was weird.
yeah.
It was weird. Our communication wasn't the best. We've been through a lot in 26 years
Yeah.
this year. We've been through a lot of different variations. It's such a good question. And you know, here's what's interesting is I typically, I like to move on. We've gotten past a certain season. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, we're out of there now. What is next? Because
Yep.
it's so much life I feel like we've lived. So at the 10-year mark, we were still figuring things out. And, you know, just having our first kid, we had been married 9 years before we even had our first kid.
Correct.
That was a big deal because Tim thought he couldn't have kids. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. I did.
And then I was like, we're not having kids until he settled down because he was traveling so much.
Yep.
And I wasn't going to be a single parent,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
why do that? So it was a lot of decision making for us at that time.
We had lost a child.
Yeah, we had
Yep.
already lost
Yep.
a child.
Yep.
Did we lose one or two by then?
One. It was we
may have
the
lost
first,
another one.
The first was a miscarriage. Then it was Nathan. Then
Yeah.
we lost 2 more and had Noah.
And then had Noah. So, but we'd already had Nathan.
That's right.
So we could have potentially lost
Another one.
another one or two
in 9.
In 9.
In 9. That's correct.
So,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we did lose another one in 9.
Yeah. So we had that. So some tragedy and trials.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Miscommunications, a lot of emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
a lot of feelings. It was difficult for us, and transition.
Yep.
So it wasn't like the easiest years for us, and a lot of our years weren't necessarily easy.
Yep.
It was a lot of work with some moments,
Yeah.
with some good moments
Yep.
in there. And our experience would be different. So my experience would be different than maybe Timmy's experience in those scenarios. But I celebrate 10 years. And here's the thing. I will say this. We didn't have a lot of marital counseling back then.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're so big on it now. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
We didn't even have, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, did we have one or two? One? Did we even have any premarital? I don't even know if we had premarital, and if we did, it may have just been one. So we figured a lot out.
Two.
Yeah, we figured a lot out through our marriage, and it was a lot of hard work. And so this is why we encourage, and we strongly encourage postmarital.
Absolutely.
You know, we encourage it a lot because you don't know what you're navigating. Now, again, and we did this while we were young. We were in our 20s.
That's right.
Right? So when you get married when you're in your 30s and 40s, you know, you experience life differently. And so there's a different mindset. You know, there's a different shifting how you will handle things in a more mature way.
Yep.
So, yeah, our 10 years was hard. It was a lot going on for us.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And to your point, we found spaces to enjoy each other and to laugh and to get on with life. Like
Right.
and this is why you shouldn't jump ship when there's a difficult season.
Right.
Because it's an actual season.
That's right.
Right? Like,
And we don't know how long the season's going to be.
that's exactly right.
Right. So there's no, in our weather season, it's what, 4 months, 3-4 months, right? That's that. In a pregnancy season, it's 10 months.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's different. In an engagement season, you could be engaged 2-3 years.
Absolutely. Well, we know some people that
You know,
have, yeah.
some people been engaged 10 years. So different scenarios
That's wild. 10
will-
years is wild.
will be different seasons and length of time for the season,
Yep.
right? But you will come through the season.
You will.
So a season is temporary.
That's right.
You just can't put the time limit on your temporary, and some of your temporaries are longer than others.
Yeah.
But you got to ask yourself, what's your endurance?
Right.
You got to ask yourself, what's your patience, and
Yeah.
what are you learning in that process?
That's right.
So I celebrate your 10-year. I'm going to encourage you. Keep talking to your wife. Keep kissing your wife. Keep hugging your wife. Keep holding her hand. Keep asking her, is there any new changes in her? Don't assume. Don't assume. I think what we do is we get used to our spouse. And we're like, oh, yeah, they'll do that. Oh, yeah, she's got this. Oh, yeah. And it's like, no, now you're taking advantage. And so we have
or
to,
being taken for granted.
and being taken for granted.
Yep.
And so please don't do that, right? Learn to make sure learn to remember. Let me keep asking her. Like, I know we've said it many times. I'm sure you've heard it many times in different scenarios, whether we've said it here or if Tim have said it. Keep dating your spouse, right? Because when you were dating, all you did was try to get to know them.
That's absolutely correct.
All you did was talk for hours,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
On the phone.
Yep.
And then you felt like, I can't get enough of this person.
That's right.
Right? And you need to keep that same energy
Yeah.
10 years in,
That's good.
15 years in,
That's good.
20 years in. I can't get enough of this person. I don't know how many times I've told some dear friends of mine, I'm like, I'm just so attracted to my Timmy. Like, I can't get enough of him. Right? And so does that mean everything is perfect all the time?
No.
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 And I'm going to say this. I said it just now, and I want to say this. Please stop comparing everything to the word perfection. It's unfair, and it's not even right. Don't compare it to perfection. Right? I just said it, but we all say it. So it's a habit that I want to stop saying it.
Yep.
Don't say, I'm not perfect. We all know that.
Yeah, we already know
Right, we
that.
already know
That's
that.
a no-does
It's a
statement.
no-does statement, right? It's no-duh.
It's a no-does statement.
So don't compare it to, because it's unfair comparison.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But keep chasing. Keep chasing the spouse. Keep dating the spouse. Because the moment you get used to them, then you're going to get bored with them. And they're changing as you're changing, right? So now what's new about them?
Yeah.
And if there's some people that are still like, hey, I'm just the same, it's just me still, okay. But at some point, as they keep living,
you're gonna
something's going to change. Something's going to adjust.
Yeah.
So inquire.
Yeah.
What do you like new? Do you still like the same thing?
Yeah.
Do you still like the same movies? I'm tired of that now. I don't like this. I've adjusted to this.
Yeah.
You don't know until you start asking.
All right, so perfect example.
Yeah.
It would be crazy for me at year 25 for us, for me to get you a pint of chocolate mint ice cream from Beth Marie's.
I would still want to eat it, though.
I know you would still want to eat it.
But yes.
But what would it cost you?
Oh, it would cost me a lot because my body has changed, right? So I can't take dairy anymore. Dairy gives me immediate allergic reaction. And so it would be crazy for him. That's a sign that he doesn't like me no more.
It's a sign I'm not paying attention to you at all.
You're not paying attention at all because he would know now, or he should know now.
Yeah.
My wife can't have dairy.
Right.
You know what? For the first 20 years of our marriage, she had dairy perfectly fine.
That's right.
But now she can't.
That's right.
So guess what? We got to make these adjustments.
Absolutely correct.
Simple things like that. It's
That's
paying
right.
attention, right?
So now I can get you the chocolate mint from Kroger, the so something.
Yeah, anything that's dairy free.
Dairy free.
Dairy free
That's
ice
right.
cream. Now we make these adjustments.
Absolutely correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So of course that's health wise.
Yeah.
But we got to apply that same thing in
Emotionally.
emotions.
That's right.
Yep.
Spiritually. We're
Desires.
just, that's right. Absolutely.
Favorites.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's right.
something that was your favorite before isn't your favorite now. I used to love ding dongs.
That's right.
Remember?
Yeah.
I used to kill some ding dongs
That's
when
right.
I wasn't working.
Yes,
when I
yes,
wasn't
yes,
working
yes.
in corporate world, woman.
Yep.
Ding dongs was my thing.
Yeah.
I don't even do sweets like that
Yeah.
anymore.
Absolutely.
Right? So if you were still buying ding dongs,
Yeah.
we're in a whole different relationship.
And if y'all don't know what ding dongs are, they're Hostess. The and cupcakes. We used to kill the cupcakes
We used
as
to
well.
kill the cupcakes with the cream filling.
Yeah, with the cream filling.
Listen, anything
Unbelievable.
Hostess. And
Yeah.
the apple pies.
And the apple pies. And the apple pies.
A little bit of a sweet tooth.
We
a
were
little bit of a
definitely
sweet
in our
tooth.
late 20s, early 30s.
We were.
Yeah.
And Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal.
We killed it. And Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal milk.
Cereal. The milk.
The
you have to
residue.
drink it.
Child, please.
Listen, we did
Tilting
all
the
the
whole
things.
bowl
You have to.
up.
That was the best part of
Pow.
the cereal.
Pow.
This is true.
I don't even eat cereal anymore.
I just bought Golden Grams.
Yes, you did. And you literally went in a time machine.
I did go in a time machine.
I was on the, where was I? I was somewhere. I don't know. I was traveling somewhere.
You went to Nashville? Where were you?
I was in Nashville. And the girl was like, I bought Golden Grams. And I was like, I don't even know who the hell you are right now. I don't.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even know who you are. It was crazy.
Well, do they know about Dad?
They're praying for Dad.
Okay,
Yep,
so
yep,
we've
yep.
been taking a lot of attention. I've been giving a lot of attention to Dad.
That's
and
right.
So I've most likely, I'm pretty sure in this season, I have not eaten the best. Or you know what I mean? I've
Mm-hmm.
just been taking care of myself. And then I even told Hector, I was like, Hector, I have not even, you know, the sensation when you eat, you feel full. I haven't even had a desire to eat.
Me either.
You know what I mean? I haven't
Yep.
even had a desire to eat. And then if I've eaten, it's not even a sensation of you're getting full.
Yeah.
There's just nothing there.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't hardly eaten as much. Of course, I've been very inundated with Dad and his situation. However, this particular night, this random night,
Golden
when
Grams.
I tell you,
I didn't
very
eat-
random.
Where do you even get them from?
Yes. I wasn't hardly eating, just very minimal things. And so we're back on track now. And I don't eat a lot of sweets and treats at all. Every now and then I want a chocolate chip cookie, but I don't eat a lot of sweets and treats. And this particular night, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I wanted some snacks.
But you wanted Golden
I
Grams.
wanted Golden Grams.
Golden Grams. I don't even remember the last time I heard the two words put together. I don't remember the
Oh
last
my
time I've seen.
goodness.
I don't think I've seen a commercial in 14 years.
I know. And all I do is I just eat it dry, just snacked on it.
It's so latchkey.
I know. It was totally
There's
latchkey. And
no
what else
milk
did
involved.
I got Golden Grams,
You got dill
Chips.
chips.
some dill pickle chips, what was it? Some salt and pepper
Oh
chips.
yeah. She was describing all this stuff, and I'm like, "Are
It
you
was
pregnant?"
so latchkey. Yeah, he was
Like I thought to myself, "Are you what?"
it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. What else did I get? I got something. I bought cake.
You raided a place.
Entenmann's, apple pie.
Yes.
Just bought things that does not come in this house.
Yeah,
except the chips.
Yeah.
It was very, very.
So
very
I was
random.
like, I thought she's either pregnant or this is comfort eating. She's grieving.
No, honey, that train has sailed.
Yeah.
13 and 15. Oh no.
Yeah, we not starting.
I will adopt all day, but there's nobody else coming out of this body. That's it.
In Jesus' name.
Yes. But anyway, so that was a very random.
Yeah,
very
no, it's all good. Golden grams for sure.
Golden grams.
Okay.
Golden Graham hitter. You want to hit the next VM?
Look,
Yeah.
tipping it. What is it? I love Golden Grams. Thank you. I'm not the only one.
It's hilarious. Yeah, hit us
Golden
off.
Grams is good. Thank you. Thank you.
Sponsored by Golden Graham. Here we go.
Hilarious.
Hey,
If
y'all.
we get a bunch of boxes.
Happy Valentine's Day. I guess I'm looking for like encouragement on how to find the courage to do the things that you know you should do when you really don't want to do it. For me specifically, I'm trying to embrace my single season, but I have a hard time trusting people, and I'm in a healing process, and I want to get married, but I know that before I can get married, I need to have like a solid support system outside of my relationship to avoid becoming clingy inside of a relationship. So just any advice or encouragement on taking the next steps to learning how to be friends with the same gender.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't get her name.
And she said, I want to make sure I understood what she was saying.
I think she just wanted
She's trying.
encouragement.
Yeah, she wanted encouragement. She's having trust issues, and then she wants to know how to get along with the same gender
Without being clingy.
without being clingy.
Yeah,
And her
without
name
being
is Micaiah.
Micaiah.
Thank you, Micaiah.
Yeah, thanks, Micaiah, for the question. So I'm just gonna say this little part, and I know I answered the last question, so I'll let you do it.
No, baby.
But so Micaiah, it is hard to trust people. So I agree with you. It is difficult, especially in the year and the decade and the time continuum space that we live in. It is difficult to trust people. So I'm with you on that. I think solid relationships, tenured relationships take good time. It just takes the time worth to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I know for me, I take a long time to bring people in close. That's just me. All of my close friends have been long. I mean, I've been with them for so long.
Yep.
And I trust them because of all the things we've taken time to walk through life together.
Mm-hmm.
And I have lots of guy friends too. I love them. Many of you know, I've cut men's hair for, how could I cut
2
hair?
decades.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I built such great rapport and relationships with them, just cutting their hair and talking to them in a chair. So, and never anything crazy at all. They think they're like, we love talking to you. You're like one of the guys. That's because I was never trying to flirt with them.
That's
I
right.
was never weird with them. Not one of them can ever say I was flirting with them, being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I've had single men, married men. Not one of them can say I have been inappropriate with them in any way in all the years. Not one. And so I've just enjoyed their company. I've enjoyed their conversation. I like to relate to them where they are. And so I think if you can maybe try, and if you're talking with someone who's of the opposite sex, not look at it as, is this somebody I'm going to be with? But just get to know them for who they are. Just get to know their likes for who they are. Be a friend. Just be a friend.
Yeah.
Be somebody to hang out with. And if it is something there, the relationship will develop into something more over time. But first, be the friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I know nobody likes that
Yeah.
sort of friend zone, but that's who you marry.
Yeah.
You should marry your friend.
Yep, for sure.
And when I say friend, I love to just spend quality time with people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what a friend could be, especially with the opposite sex. A guy could talk to me about him talking to or dating another girl, and it ain't going to move me in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Because you're just my friend.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? Now, if I have feelings for you,
Right.
that's when it's going to be.
Right.
You
It's
know,
gonna be
now
difficult. Yeah.
there's something there because
Yeah.
I've allowed feelings
That's right.
to come into play. But if my mindset, I've only put you in this category, and maybe that's me, I can compartmentalize, right? So if I'm putting you in this category, like you're my buddy, and you need a woman,
And it ain't me.
and it ain't me,
Right.
that kind of helps the perspective of where the relationship is. So now I'm more apt to have a more open, honest, transparent conversation with you because there's no expectation.
Right. For sure.
And calling someone buddy might immediately
Completely
let
turns
them
them
know.
off. Yeah. Hey, buddy.
It's wild.
You know, yeah. So, so in order to build trust, you have to just spend time with people.
Absolutely.
And I think that the more you just kind of listen to people talk, you're going to hear a lot where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to know right then and there if this is even somebody you want to have further conversations with.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You'll know where they are in the first few minutes of engaging with them. And then if you give yourself time to engage with them more, you'll be able to see further. People tell you who they are if you just listen.
Yes, they will.
They will tell you, they will tell on themselves all the time.
Yes, they will.
You can tell if they're being silly, if they're being goofy, if they're being fun, if they're being serious, if they're psychopath.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't ignore
That's right.
what they're telling
That's
you.
right. They're talking to you.
They're talking to
They're
you
talking
for
to
sure.
you. Yeah. Sometimes
So-
they use words.
Yeah, yes. and then their actions, and then the way they communicate.
Absolutely correct.
So pay attention to everything, and that'll give you some good markers to know, is this a person that I even want to further engage with? Are they weird? Are they scatterbrained?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You're going to know. And so be encouraged to know that it does take time to find quality people nowadays, unfortunately. There's actually some really good people out there that just have probably just as hurt, are insecure, and they don't know really how to display themselves.
Yeah.
So sometimes they display themselves in a really weird way.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of filter past all that, a lot of times they're just good people at the core. They just don't have a good person to bring it out in them. And so maybe you could be a good person to just take an extra 5 minutes with them and just let people talk, and you'll know where they are.
Yeah.
And I hope that helps. I'm sure I missed some things. I'm sure I missed some stuff in her question.
Well, I want to. What you missed, I think I can
Fill
speak
in the
to.
gaps.
So I want to speak to and encourage you around your same-sex relationships, that you wanted that support system, but you don't want to be clingy. So let's replace the word clingy with needy, right? You don't want to be needy.
Yes.
And guess what? You are needy, because we're all needy. Every single one of us is needy. We all have needs. Not just, we don't all just have wants. We have needs. We have relational needs. What you want to be able to do is not need what you need from one specific person to the point where you burn that person and or persons
That's good, Timmy.
out. So you want a support system that you can diversify your needs. You don't want to just keep running to one of those wells
For sure.
because that person will be like, that person's a bugaboo. You drain me every time you call me. It's about something with you and I'm tired, right? And so get that support system together. That support system should not just be comprised of friends. It should also be comprised of a therapist. I'm tired of all these people having enough money for their hairdresser and their
the
nails.
truth.
And to get, and you got a gym membership that's pulling
Yep.
$19 a month or $39 a month, and you telling me you ain't got no time for no therapist. I'm so sorry. You do. You actually got the money for it.
Yeah, you do.
It's just tied up in Paramount and Netflix right now, and you don't need both.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you, maybe you can't go once a month. Maybe you can go once a quarter.
It's the truth.
But this will help you. We all have these relational nutrients that are needs. We all need containment. We all need validation. We all need affirmation. There's 22 relational needs that every single person needs. I don't have time to go through all of them.
Why not, Timmy? I'm just kidding.
I can make time to go through all of them, dear. If you would like me to, I will. But my encouragement is to recognize you have needs, but not have to need it from one or more persons all the time. Like, if the only time you're talking to your so-called friend is about you and your issues, that's not your friend. That's your bootleg therapist. Mm-hmm. Put them back in the friend zone and go get a real therapist.
Correct.
And stop taxing your friend. You should be able to go to your therapist and come back to your friend and be like, girl, I just had a great session.
Yes.
With my therapist. Are we going to see the movie?
And now we can go have
You know
fun.
what I mean?
Yes.
Did you think Usher looked good without his shirt? Like, whatever y'all talk about. I don't know what y'all be talking about. But you do need to know that Usher's married now. After the Super Bowl, he got married.
Oh, good.
He went straight to the little Vegas thing and got married.
Did he?
Right after the Super Bowl, which is fantastic. He's been with that girl since 2019. They have 2 kids together. Why not? Stop playing.
Absolutely.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps you.
Yeah.
Is that
And
good?
I'm glad that she's honest with herself to know
For sure.
that she's clingy or has attachment issues in these areas. I think that's the number one thing too, is be honest with you.
Yep.
Be honest with
you.
yourself and know.
All right. So
We got one here from Taylor.
Yep.
That is in the Discord chat.
I'm hitting it right now. So, hi, Tim and Juliette. Do you have any advice for my girlfriend and I dealing with retroactive jealousy? She has intrusive thoughts about me and my past with other girls. I have more of a past history than she does. How did Juliette come to terms with your past? Did she have any struggles? Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very, very interesting. So, retroactive jealousy.
Retroactive jealousy.
It's my first time hearing this.
It's a very cool. I like it.
Yeah,
I think we should use it. Thanks, Taylor.
This generation is really good on being wordsmiths.
They are.
So as it relates to retroactive jealousy,
Google says a person's distress or perceived threat about their partner's past romantic relationships.
have you had retroactive jealousy?
No. So I will say this: as far as that, I've never been a jealous woman ever.
Period.
Ever in my whole life.
Period.
Before Tim, during Tim, never. I have never been a jealous
I am
woman.
so grateful you didn't say after Tim. I literally took a bated breath. And I was like, I hope there's no after.
No, there can't be. I mean, no. I'm not.
You've never been that way.
I've just never been that way.
Yeah.
So as far as me being jealous, I can honestly say I do feel bad for women who are jealous because the man has probably played a big role in the woman feeling jealous and insecure based on their actions, or vice versa. Has she had intrusive thoughts about 100%? 100%. I've had many years, decades of intrusive thoughts. Not about him with other women. Tim has shared his story with all of his porn addiction all the time. That has been definitely something that I have had to deal with for years and years and years. So that would be a mental torment that has, of course, bothered me for years. That I've had to overcome and deal with. But does it have to do with anything jealous? No. Have I ever compared myself to his struggles? No. So jealousy, whether it's with the woman or whether his addiction, for me, not jealous. But has his struggles bothered me? Of course. Not in a jealous way where I'm comparing myself to him. No. The fact that it had been an ongoing struggle for so long, and all the things that come from that, the collateral damage that comes from that, that's what I've had to deal with. So I hope that clears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I hope that clears that up.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's a question that only you can answer. I don't have any jealousy towards anybody that Juliette was with.
No, I mean, we've been together 26 years. I wasn't with nobody when I was with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I literally stopped talking. Because
Yeah.
there was nothing else to say.
There's nothing to
Like,
say, yeah.
there's-
Yeah, now I think for her, I know at times, maybe if I can help in any way, I feel like I gave an answer, but I don't know that it was very helpful. But maybe for your girlfriend, there were times for Tim and I, we used to call it living in his prison.
Mhm.
Do you remember that?
Mhm.
So for with Tim and the porn addiction, in order for him to help him not to have any additional intrusive thoughts that would maybe open up more desires for him to want to do that, he had to learn to be very open with me, right? So it was like, okay, what are the triggers that gets you wanting more? You know
Right.
what I mean? That opens up this appetite. Well, we can't watch R-rated movies. We can't have any of these things. We can't go here, or I can't see that. So, he used to use the term, okay, it's a prison. And so would you live in this prison with me? And I did, right? And I didn't mind it. Okay, you can't watch R-rated movies? It don't bother me. But if you can't watch it, we don't have to watch it. Bottom line.
Yeah.
You can't go here because that's a trigger for you, then guess what? We just not going there.
Yeah.
Right? So what do we need to do together? So if you're honest with her, or if you're keeping her in the loop, right? So I'm not saying necessarily feed a fear, but what I am saying is take away what could be fears, or take away what could cause anxiety for her. So if you're a person that's constantly talking to other girls and you have a past history of cheating, then who are these girls you're talking to, right?
Exactly.
Whatever the scenario is, does
Yep.
she know them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is she okay with them? Is she comfortable with them?
Yep.
Is there anything that you can do to bring down her anxiety? Is there anything that you can do? And have you done all the things that you can do to take away what would trigger her? And so whether it's here's access to my phone,
Right.
or you can have passwords to all my emails,
Yep.
whatever it is, if you were to open up all of the access to you in every way with no privacy, then guess what? All of her anxiety goes away. All of her fear goes away. And so at one point where she might be checking everything at first and there's nothing there because it's like, hey, it's all on the table. Guess what? All that then goes away. She's not going to need to check anything anymore. She's not going to have the desire to, because now she trusts you. So I just believe that if you do things to help her feel more comfortable, more than just saying, I'm not doing anything, then that will alleviate, or I believe that would help her alleviate the anxiety that she could be feeling from you.
You are cooking with hot fish grease now. Because that's what I wanted to get to. If this is truly an intrusive thought that's originating just because she's thinking about your past relationships, there's actually nothing you can do about that.
Correct.
If you are contributing
Correct.
to the frequency of these intrusive thoughts.
That's right. That's right.
Because of some behavior that raises suspicion.
Correct.
Where she would squint her eyes and be like,
That's right.
He said he used to be a player before he got with me or before he got saved, but now he's not, but he's showing some player tendencies.
Right.
Then if you're contributing to that, that's what's going
to cause the anxiety.
This beautiful girl to my left is giving the caution on is you can help put that away.
For sure.
You can dead all of those intrusive thoughts with just simply being open.
Sure.
The prison language is not language I would use now.
No.
I would use boundaries.
Yep.
Back then,
that was back then.
Yeah, I didn't have those. I didn't have that language, and
Yep.
so it felt like a prison,
That's
right?
right.
Like I need to put myself in a prison. I can't go anywhere. I can't really do nothing. I can't watch this. Can't go here. Can't listen to that. Blah 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 blah. Now it's just like, nope. I got certain boundaries. I got to close my eyes if this comes on, if that comes on, if this is happening, if that is happening. I don't want to watch this movie, period.
Right.
We don't want to do that because we don't want to wake up the monster. We had all this language around it. And that what you don't want to do is give your partner, male or female, you don't want to give your partner any suspicion.
That's right.
This ain't about, well, you just don't trust. No. If you had whole tendencies,
that's right,
and whole behavior,
right,
then you got to have a level of openness.
That's right.
So that when the thought comes, are they going back to being a hoe?
Exactly.
Well, no, because they got off work at 5 and they was home at 5:11. Can't hoe in 11 minutes. You know what I mean? It takes a little more time to hold than that. Like, you know what I mean? I wonder if, are they looking at certain things on social media? Well, no, he gave me the passwords to his social media, and I can see his Explore page, and I can see his search history, and I can, you know what I mean? I can see what he doubled. Just take it away. Openness is not illegal.
No.
Openness is not I hear so many guys, if I got to do all that, then it ain't even about trust in the first place. If you think openness means that somehow you are being robbed of liberty,
right,
get the hell out of here. Don't be with anybody.
You just want to do what you want to do.
Hey, would you share your password to me equals I don't trust you? What if it means I just want us to have such an open relationship? Yeah. Everybody else having these open relationships that lead to being polygamous and polyamorous and all this kind of stuff. What about an open relationship where there were no secrets?
That's right.
How about that type of open relationship?
That's right.
How about we get an open relationship where you can go through my phone right now without me sitting here sweating, hoping you don't tap on the right icon or the wrong icon.
Preacher.
So my thing is, let's have the type of open relationships that bring safety and stability. Not these open relationships where you get to have a piece on the side and you get to have a side chick and you get to have a side dude. Let's have an open relationship where there's just no secrets.
But that's what you want. You want the secrets.
That's what if you're telling me you don't want
if you don't want the openness,
you're trying to keep a secret.
You're keeping a secret.
If you get mad at the thought.
That's right.
Of your significant other having codes to your phone, then you got something you want to hide.
That's exactly what that is.
It wouldn't even piss you off.
That's right.
When I was in my 20s and I didn't believe in car insurance, every time a cop got behind me, I got nervous. Nigga wasn't even trying to run my plate. My heart beating out of my chest. I'm just, oh God, I promise I'll call the general tomorrow. God, I just pray right now in Jesus' name, please don't let this man run my plate.
You wouldn't have that anxiety.
Yeah, I wouldn't have that anxiety if I just got car insurance.
You just got it. PIP.
I got car insurance now.
You're fine.
These jokers, not only can they get behind me, they can pull up on the side of me. You know what I do? I wave at police officers. At the red light, I wave at them. I dare them to pull me over. I got time. Pull me over, fam. I got nothing to hide from you.
That's right.
I'm a registered gun owner. I ain't got no burner with no serial numbers scratched off the side that I got to throw into the Trinity River.
That's right.
When you live a life that's open, can't nobody take you by surprise.
You don't have nothing to hide. That's right.
I ain't got to sit up. This phone is open right now. I'm not going to go to the bathroom and then have a snap moment. I left my phone open. I wonder if my wife went through. Man, please. Ain't nobody got time for them games.
And I don't go through his phone. Listen, if you're going to be in a relationship with people and you're going to be married, and you're being honest.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you're being open. And you're vulnerable and transparent. Then you don't have to play childish games. I mean, this is middle school stuff.
Ooh.
This is what kids do. Kids play games. And if this is what we're going to do, then we don't need to be married. That's just the bottom line. I just don't. I'm here to live this best life with my guy and my family.
Yes.
Who has time to be sitting there? Is he cheating? Is he doing this? Who's he talking to now? I don't have time for that.
That's
If that's what
dizzying.
you're gonna do,
No.
then just leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the truth.
Yeah.
I am not that person
Yep.
that has time for those games. It's just childish.
It is.
It's very
It
juvenile.
is.
And
Make
it's
a
immature.
decision and live with it.
Make a decision
Yeah.
and live that you are going to live an integral
Mm-hmm.
life with character, honesty, and transparency. Make a decision to do
Yeah,
better.
absolutely
And if
correct.
that is not something that you have seen displayed or you've seen activated, then do it for yourself.
Absolutely correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Find somebody that you can connect with that believes that
Yeah.
way that you do and get with them and live an honest life. Live a life of character.
Yeah.
Live a life of integrity. But
Yeah.
if you have to go through all of that and you can't sleep at night and you tossing and turning, well, that's just no way to live.
Absolutely correct.
And if you're going to sit there and hold secrets because you just want to do what you want to do, then go be by yourself.
Yeah. And be honest about why you're leaving too.
Be honest.
Stop blaming the marriage.
That's right.
Stop blaming her. Stop blaming him.
Right.
If you just want to go be a hoe, be a hoe. Just go be one.
But don't sacrifice these people's life for what you want to do.
Absolutely correct. You hoeing and then still coming back home to your spouse. Stop playing.
Yeah, well, and don't marry somebody either or get with somebody to cover up your behaviors and your tendencies, to be a cover up, because we know many of those relationships too.
Oh.
People get married and people get in relationships to cover up.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to
I mean, why not? We talking about
pivot on
well,
that.
let's pivot because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They do. They get in these relationships as a front.
As a front.
They ruin people's lives as a front.
And
A storefront.
And just so we're all clear, the storefront is you are a homosexual and you're getting married to a person to cover up the fact that you have a same-sex attraction and you practice same-sex behavior, but you don't want that to be out like that. So you marry a woman or you marry a man.
That's true.
And you come to an agreement so you can keep your foolishness up.
That's all it is.
Yeah. And that's
heterosexual relationships do that too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, both hetero and homo.
Hetero
Yes.
and homo.
They both do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And the heterosexual ones, they get married. It's again another front for them to just go and sleep with every Tom, Dick, and Harry too. But to just go around about denying the claims, no, this is not what I'm doing, just to save face because you got a family over here and you still don't want to change your behaviors over here. Homosexual relationships, the same thing.
Yep.
We're marrying for this front. I'm going to still live this lifestyle that I'm living. And we're still going to put up this facade because I just want to do what I want to do.
Yep.
At the end of the day, no matter what, it is selfish, self-centered, and narcissistic as the bottom line. That's just what it is.
Ooh, these storefront marriages.
It's a lot of storefront marriages, unfortunately. And it's just like, I hate that people are damaging people's lives.
Well, that's where we.
Yeah,
This is where we get heated.
They damage other people's lives for their own personal gain. Because
they take no one else into consideration.
They don't. They don't. Everybody becomes collateral damage for your actions, and it's not right. I don't like it.
You're so cute. It's not right. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
All right.
So would you say the people that are living a double life, they struggle with a lot of anxiety that they're imposing on themselves, and they're just living in it because they're trying to always hide something?
Yeah, they won't give themselves permission to just be true to where they are right now. So they live the lie. Now, I know this because I lived it. Like, I did this. Like, I'm not talking about... I say this ad nauseum, but I don't sit up here and talk about what I don't know, either by my own life or having very close observances of other people's lives.
Absolutely.
I do not talk about stuff that I don't know. There's nothing that comes out of my mouth that's theory. If it was, this woman would check me.
Yes, absolutely.
So when I say this statement, it is because I understand it. I know what it is to be an incongruent person. I know what it is to say one thing but be living another thing and not even know how to reconcile the two of them. So if you're in that situation because of brokenness, I understand that. It's when you turn it into a permanent lifestyle and never acknowledge it.
That's right.
That I have an issue with. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about somebody's brokenness. Everybody does stupid stuff out of their brokenness. I get it.
Yep.
But you can't be 20 years broken not know what the hell you doing.
That's right.
You doing this on purpose.
You're aware.
We ain't talking about some 22-year-old fractured soul that's like, I don't know. No, you're 58 and you got an apartment in the next city. And on Thursdays and Fridays, that's your study time. But your side chick lives there. That's not, I was doing this out of my brokenness. Your brokenness went to a different city, signed a lease on an apartment.
You liked your brokenness.
Moved in your sugar mama or your sugar boy. And you've been living this behavior out. That's duplicity. It is nefarious. It is premeditated.
That's the problem. It's premeditated. You know what you're doing.
You know what you're doing.
I tell people all the time, you are not possessed. You are aware. You are in control of your actions. Most people are not possessed. Where you just don't have any control over that. That is a very small number of people. You have control over what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You are making clear decisions, whether they're good or bad. You are making those decisions.
That's right.
And so you gotta own that. And that's the issue that you have is people don't want to own that.
Yeah.
You are doing this. You made this decision.
That's
you were
right.
clear in your thought when you made it.
That's right.
You could have been broken, but you were still clear in your thought.
You were clear.
You knew what you were doing.
Yep.
And you don't want to be honest about it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
All right, we got another VM from Brandy.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Juliette.
Hi, Brandy.
My name is Brandy. I have a question about being content in your single season. I am 28, but I have two beautiful children, so I'm a single parent, and I've gotten to the point where I am content.
Good.
I have dated before. I have tried being in a relationship, and I've gotten to the point where I do not care to date. I do not care to deal with anyone. I am okay with it just being me and my little family. I do desire my husband. I desire to be married. But at this point, the way things are going, I just don't have the desire to date or meet anyone else anytime soon. I just don't have time. My kids are getting older. There are things we have to do as a family, and I don't have the time. So I guess my question is it okay being content where you are?
Yes.
And does that mean that you're never going to meet your person
No.
because you're content? Or is this just another stepping stone in my single season? Thank you, guys. Love you.
Girl, you go first because I'm going second.
I was going to say, is live your best life. You are 100% okay with being content. You are not required, forced, need to be in any relationship. Girl, do the things you need to do. Take care of your family. And yes, one day I'm sure you'll get married. But right now, focus on you and your family. And that is A-okay. And don't let anybody pressure you. Don't let anybody pressure you. Don't let society pressure you that you need to be with somebody. You need to be going on dates. Girl, this is the season you are in. I'm glad you're content. I wish more people were content like you. You're great. You're great. I don't even have much to say. I'm sure you'll get married one day. I'm sure that will come when it comes. And you're going to be so content, he's going to have to hunt you down. You know what I mean? He's going to have to hunt you down because you're not going to be checking for him.
Girl, okay, so I'm too excited. I'm too excited.
Go for it.
The whole time you were talking, Brandy, the only thing I kept thinking to myself is, you're the one that winds up getting swooped up.
That's right. That's right.
The woman or the man that's content and has like kind of, resolved
right.
like, hey, listen, I could kind of take it or leave it
That's
now. I ain't got time. I'm busy. I'm doing. When you're not preoccupied with it, those are the ones
That's right.
historically.
Yep.
I'm not saying empirically,
Yep.
but historically, based on my
I agree.
experience, those are the ones that winds up getting swooped
That's
up.
right.
They get caught by surprise because they ain't even check it.
That's right.
The ones that like, it's in their face every day, like, oh my goodness, when will it be my turn? When will man come? It seems longer for them.
It does.
Like
It
that
does.
that are we there yet mentality
That's right.
makes the car ride longer.
100% it does.
It's a 3-hour car ride, but if you ask, are we there yet every minute? It seems like a 7-hour car ride.
Well, and most people that are asking, are we there yet for relationships, is just really more infatuated with the idea of being married than actually the work that it takes to be married.
Is that why 50% of these people get divorced?
Yeah, they're just in love with the idea of marriage itself and saying that I'm married. You're missing all the essentials.
Wow. So, man, Ju,
Yes.
it sounds like you're saying like that vow part, they don't even understand what them vows really mean.
They don't understand, and especially if they're not people of their word.
Ooh.
Right? Because now the
If
divorce...
you can't keep your word, you can't keep a vow.
Right, because that's what a vow is.
That's nasty.
You can't keep it.
Ooh.
Right? So yeah, and that's on both parts.
Girl,
We say stuff.
you be saying stuff.
No, we all say stuff, right?
Right.
For better or for worse. Let's just start there. All right? For better, we're here for that.
Mm-hmm.
For worse, we out the door.
That's right.
Right? So
That's
to
right.
what extent is worse
For
you? Right? All right. Till death do us part. We always assume that is a physical death. But the death of what? What is it? Do we leave the death of our communication? Do we leave because we feel like something has died? Our emotional connection has died? So now we out the door? In sickness and in health. Okay. What if you get a life-threatening sickness? Right? Then what? Are you going to stay? Are you going to leave them? Is it too hard for you, the one that's not going through the process, to take care of the spouse? Right? So there's a lot of deaths that come in expectation. There's death that comes in a myriad of different ways in these relationships. And so when we say our vows, I think we think about them as very surface.
Yep.
For better or for worse, in sickness and health, to death do us part. Well, what sickness? If you catch a cold, you gonna stay? Yeah, we'll stay for a cold. I may not. I may not handle if you have cancer. I don't know what to do if you get a terminal disease. Right? So we say words. Sometimes we're just so shallow.
Yep.
And we repeat something that's traditional, but we don't really grasp to the extent of what they mean or what this says.
Yeah, were you listening to that officiant?
Yeah, and do you understand that this is what you're putting yourself into? That's what marriage is. It's the depth of these words that we're saying. It's the breadth of them. All right? It's the very rooted meaning of what they stand for versus just the surface level of what we think it is. I'll be with this person till the day I die. Will you? So a lot of women that I know, again, I've had so many beautiful and wonderful conversations with men. So I'm going to say this. I haven't had these types of conversations with the men. Men are typically more intentional when they want to get married. They're typically more the intentional one, like, their intentions are right. Of they understand a little bit more of what it takes. Sometimes women, they've grown up with Barbies and Barbie dolls, and they have this fantasy of Ken and Barbie, and we're going to come together. We're going to live in this perfect house, in this perfect world, in this fairy tale life of marriage and what it should look like. And a lot of times women are caught up in what the idea of marriage is. And that's what they want. They're expecting the 2 kids and the dog. You know what I mean? The cat, the pool, the house. But sometimes you get an apartment, right? Sometimes you get a room, you know what I mean, in a house with your parents.
It's facts.
Right? Sometimes you get a temporary space.
That's right.
It's not that, right? That's the reality
That's
of
the
it.
reality.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you're in a 1-bedroom.
Sometimes you're in a hotel room
That's
for a
right.
week.
Absolutely.
Or 2 weeks
That's
until
right.
you get on your feet.
That's right.
Right? And so sometimes these fantasies now, they blow up in our face when it's not what we expect it to be on day one.
Yep.
And then from that point on, we don't feel like we could trust the person we're with.
Right.
Because they didn't fulfill the fantasy.
That's right. They're not kin.
And then if you're more affluent and you have the resources to have that, right? So now you have all the money and you can have the house, and then you're still unhappy.
That's right.
Okay, so now why are we unhappy? Well, my husband works all the time and I never see him, or he's always out working late. And then, now there's always a problem.
That's absolutely correct.
It doesn't matter the scenario that you're in.
That's right.
There's going to be a problem somewhere.
That's right.
So now how do we mitigate that?
Yep.
Okay, we got to divorce ourselves from the idea of the fantasies that we have going into these relationships and embrace the reality of what this could be at times. You can have a great, solid relationship. You can have all the money in the world, and one day you lose it all.
Yep. Absolutely correct. And then what?
And then what?
Then what?
You could be Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yep.
Do y'all remember that movie?
Absolutely.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
anything. It's a great movie, right?
Shout out, Bruce.
They had it all. And then guess what? They lost it all.
That's right.
Overnight. Lost
That's
that bad boy
right.
all.
Cutting out grass.
That's right.
Right? Cutting out grass. Cutting out grass.
That was hilarious.
Doing everything not to lose the house.
That's right.
An anchor that was so important to him.
Yep. Absolutely correct.
A fixture that was important to him.
That's absolutely
The
correct.
things that they thought was most valuable to him.
That's right.
Your money, your house, your stocks, your education, all these things that brought value to you. And not that those things aren't good, but what is the essence of why you got married? This is what we need to focus on. Not the things you've had or attained
Yep.
before or during the marriage that you got there, but what are the core values? It's you and this person.
That's absolutely
and
correct.
this family that y'all built.
Yep.
For better or for worse. In an apartment or in a house.
That's right.
In a hotel room
That's
or outside.
right. That's absolutely correct.
Right? We're missing those parts of it.
I want to dap you up right now.
Dap me up, my guy.
Because we
That horn.
we had every time you start talking like this, first of all, you just get really attractive, and I start thinking about Wolf Brand chili and rice
Wolf Brand chili and rice. It's what we ate.
in Tupperware bowls.
That's right.
With smashed up saltine crackers.
That's it. And it was good.
And 10-minute boiling back success rice.
That's right. In which I still cook to this day.
That's right. with the Louisiana hot sauce.
That's it.
In that apartment in Irving. And that was the season we were in.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most appropriate thing to do, based on what you just said, is just to simply remind people
That's right.
what these vows say. Because sometimes you're in your white dress.
Yes.
And you're in your tuxedo.
That's right.
And the event is so overwhelming.
It's beautiful.
You're just going through the motions.
That's right.
I just think we need to come back and reflect on what this officiant said.
Mm-hmm.
Dearly beloved.
That's right. Come on, dearly beloved.
Also the name of a show that's coming out with Juliette Ross. I think it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be fun.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God.
That's right.
And this company, which makes the company co-witnesses with God.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Even the people attending the wedding are participants in the wedding, okay? Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God in this company to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony. Marriage is an honorable estate, instituted of God, blessed by our Lord Jesus Christ, and declared by St. Paul to be honorable among men. It is not, therefore, to be entered into without holy advice or lightly. I mean, this is a caution.
That's right.
On the day.
Day of.
The officiant is if they're reading this and not coming up with no jazzy,
That's right.
new age, neo-Christian version
Right.
of what a wedding is, he's warning you.
After you've already went through premarital.
After you've already went through premarital, you already sitting there, you already at the event. You came up to the event and guess what you're getting? A warning.
That's right.
It is not therefore to be entered into without holy advice or lightly, but reverently, soberly, advisedly, and in the fear of God. Let us therefore, under the seriousness of this act,
That's right.
this is the verbiage, invoke divine presence upon this occasion, right? Then there's a prayer. Before there's even an exchange, here's the next part. I now charge both of you,
That's right.
as you stand in the presence of God, the reminder again, you ain't just doing this for kicks and giggles, to remember that true love and faithful observance of your marriage vows are required
That's right.
as the foundation of a successful marriage and the establishment of a happy and enduring home. Without these, there can be no real marriage, and the home which you will endeavor to establish will be a vain effort. Keep the solemn vows you are about to make. Live with tender consideration for each other. Conduct your lives in honesty and truth, and your marriage will last. Your home will be lasting. The commitment to marriage will be a blessing to you, and you will and will be a blessing to others. This should be remembered as you now desire to be united in holy wedlock.
That's right.
You are supposed to be locked together, never to be unlocked.
That's right.
This is the vows first to the man and woman that just need I do. Do you take this woman or man to be your wedded wife or husband? And do you earnestly promise, once again, before God and these witnesses, that you will love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and that forsaking all others for her alone, you will perform unto her or him all the respect that a husband owes to his wife until God by death shall separate you? The man and the woman are supposed to say, I do, right? They have to say, I do, before they exchange vows with each other.
That's it.
Let's
That's
slow
right.
it down.
That's right.
Maybe we should just slow this whole episode down so you really understand, if you're married, what you actually said. So for some of y'all that's like, I'm tired of my marriage right now. I think I want to get There's been no infidelity. There has been no physical abuse. There has been no emotional abuse. And stop calling your arguments emotional abuse.
Right.
Get thicker skin. Y'all just arguing. Both of y'all have hurt feelings, and you said hurt things to each other, and you need to apologize for it. That's not emotional abuse. That doesn't qualify. Some of y'all be trying to get yourself out too easy. He just not doing
That right there.
He just not. You see what I'm saying?
They want to quit.
Because they want to get unlocked.
That's right.
You trying to pick your own lock. Remember, this was wed lock, not a wed knot. Oh, the Holy Ghost is in here right now. I feel this thing. This ain't wed knot. This is wedlock. Maybe that's the first thing that the enemy tried to bring in.
Come on.
Y'all tying the knot. You wasn't supposed to be tying no knot. You were supposed to be making a lock.
It's good, Timmy.
And in order for you to break the lock, you need tools. Let me stop.
No, this is good.
So then
This is duper.
after we it's so cute.
It's so super is duper.
Okay, so after they say I do, then the officiant says, therefore, since it is the agreement of this man and this woman to be husband and wife, please join right hands. This is a covenant.
That's right.
We
It's an
shake on it.
agreement.
This is literally, it looks all
It's like a
beautiful.
contract.
It's cute. This is a handshake. This is an agreement. I've given you my word. We've shook on it. We've literally shook on it, right? That's why you take that spouse's hand, right? That's why you should always hold hands, because you held hands to exchange these vows. Okay. Join right hands and repeat after me before God and these witnesses. Again, it keeps on saying it. God and these witnesses, this marriage vow.
That's right.
Now we got everybody watching.
That's right.
God, the officiant, and all of these witnesses are watching you.
Accountable.
That whole group is meant to keep you accountable.
That's right. That's right.
The entire congregation is meant to keep you accountable.
And true to your word.
And true
that
to
you
your word.
said.
Everybody that's there, walk away going, we saw you give your word.
That's right.
Don't come to me later talking
That's
about
right.
you won out.
That's right.
If you don't have grounds to be out, do your effing work. All right, so here is what it says now. I blank take thee blank to be my wedded wife or husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse.
That's right.
For richer or for poorer, in sickness and health, and to love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance, and thereto I pledge thee my faith. then you exchange rings, then you tongue each other up. Okay.
Simple kiss would have been.
I wanted more than a simple kiss on May 1st of 1999,
Yes.
and I got it.
And you got it.
I got it.
Got it.
You have very soft lips. So here's what I want to say. If it took all this to get married, it should take all this to get out of it.
That's right.
Run it back.
Whole ceremony for divorce.
You need to. I wonder how many divorces we would have.
That's right.
Outside of infidelity.
That's right.
Outside of abuse.
That's right.
Whether it's physical or emotional. I wonder how many people would get divorced if they had to go rebook the venue.
That's right. Pay for it.
Feed everybody again.
Yep.
Bring everybody back.
Yep.
Stand before God, the officiant, and all the witnesses.
And undo.
And unlock your vow. I take it all back. I didn't mean it for real.
No one's doing
I didn't
that.
mean in sickness and in health. You stayed sick too long.
Yep. That's right.
I didn't mean for better or for worse.
That's right.
You were out of a job for 2 years.
Come on. Come on.
I didn't mean for richer or for poor. Your bank account dipped below. Our savings dipped below $1,000
Come on.
for 3 years, and I can't stay with you no more. I found somebody else who's going to have me financially stable. I grew up poor, and the thought of being poor again, I'm so sorry, I got to unlock this vow. Get the dress back.
That's right.
Get back in the dress.
That's right.
Go back to David's Bridal and get that rental tux, looking like a penguin. Get them patent leather shoes. Stand back in front of this gazebo.
Don't forget the cummerbund.
And this cummerbund. And unwind these vows.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all ain't about this life, man.
It takes work.
It takes work.
It takes commitment.
It takes commitment.
It takes strength.
It takes strength.
It takes mental fortitude.
It takes endurance.
It takes long suffering.
All the stuff that it said it was going to take.
That's right.
All the stuff you vowed. All the stuff you shook your head on and you was wiping your eyes.
In
your
the moment.
tears in the moment.
In the moment.
Somebody, instead of mailing you back your marriage license, they should have mailed you back these vows. And a tape of you saying it.
That's right.
Because your memory is short.
People need to do more push-ups.
Let me translate for the people that don't know. I've been with Juliette for 26 years. Let me translate. When Juliette tells you to do push-ups, she's over you. She's completely over you. She's over your excuses, and she wants you to get stronger. Therefore,
I'm over the excuses.
She's over.
I want you to get stronger.
That's
and
absolutely
quit
correct.
crying.
Absolutely.
Right?
Quit
do
all,
some push-ups.
Say the whole thing you say. It ain't just quit crying.
Quit all that baby crying.
Quit all that baby crying. That's what Juliette wants you to do.
Quit all that baby crying.
Ladies and gentlemen, she wants you to quit all that baby crying. Because you're out here doing what we like to call
the most.
Too much.
Too much. It's the truth.
You're doing too much.
Yeah. I just want committed people to have a successful, committed relationship.
Absolutely.
You know,
But
I want people to win.
Me too.
I do. I just want them to win so bad. And I hate excuses.
Me too.
Right? I just hate excuses. And if you have legitimate excuse, then just do your work.
That's right.
To get better.
That's absolutely correct.
Just do your work to get better. That's just it. I'll start doing my push-ups. Elias. Oh my
I'll start doing my push-ups. Heard Juliette, and then gave the salute emoji.
The salute.
I'm with it. Yeah.
We got a VM from I don't know how to I don't want to mess up her name, so we're gonna call her G with the little smiley face.
Okay.
All right, G.
Hey Theo Tim, hey Theo Juliette. I just wanted to, I don't know if I'm getting good signal in here. I'm in my college bathroom, but hopefully I'm getting good signal in here. I just wanted to ask, I asked this on the last live, but you didn't get to my question or anything, which is totally okay. But I just wanted to ask if you guys had any words of encouragement or advice for children or teens going through a divorce. I'm currently 19 and I have two younger brothers, one 16 and one 6, and my parents have been separated for almost a year, but my dad unfortunately still lives with us and they're now on the road to divorce. My dad has just been really verbally abusive and he's had a lot of narcissistic tendencies, and we all just feel very spiritually disconnected and very hindered. If you have any words of encouragement or advice for my family or even my mom, she's just like really, really broken right now, and I'm trying my best to be there for her during this time and this season of her life. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. God bless you.
I can hear the pain in your voice,
for
and
sure.
it is heartbreaking. You are carrying so much heaviness.
Yeah, at 19.
And I can feel it. And I need to speak to you really quickly. I want to encourage you. This divorce is not your fault. It has nothing to do with you. And I do not want you to carry bags that do not belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
You are not supposed to carry the weight for your entire family. Your mom has a weight to bear in this. You have a weight to bear in this, and your siblings have a weight to bear in this. Do not carry all of their weights.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want you to become so overwhelmed and overburdened because of your love for your other family members that you wind up having a breakdown.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you to put down the weights that do not belong to you. Do not carry your mother's weight. Do not carry your siblings' weight. Do not carry your father's weight. It is this entire episode you're going through is exasperated by the fact that your parents have been separated for a year, but your dad still lives there. Because now you're living in hell.
Mm-hmm.
You're living with abuse and narcissism, and on a daily basis you are reminded of the destabilization of your home.
Mm-hmm.
You're reminded of the actions of your father, the toxicity of your father, and how that is it's like going home and walking around with carbon monoxide. It's poisoning you.
Yeah.
My encouragement to you is to continue to do what you're doing now, which is talk about it. You may think you've talked about it enough or cried about it enough. I assure you, you haven't. You need to talk even more. Your family's going to need a time to heal. It's really, really weird that your parents are separated and your dad is in this situation where he doesn't want to be with your mom no more, but he's still in the house.
It's weird.
I know there's a lot of scenarios by which he thinks it's okay to still do that. He is most definitely a self-centered man who is compounding cruelty on your mother and you and your siblings. With that said, you need to have a support group, and you're going to need time for yourself. I just want to speak to you. I know you said you have encouragement from your mom, and I want to encourage you. Like, make sure you are processing this, you are talking about this with people that you trust, and that you are only carrying what belongs to you. You cannot carry what belongs to others. You can only carry what belongs to you. And it's heavy. It's heavy. What you have to carry just for yourself is heavy. That's why I don't want you to carry anybody else's stuff. Anything to add to that, baby? It's a tough situation.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know the full details of it. It's hard, I'm a product of divorce, right? But I wanted my mom to. It was time for her to go. You know what I mean? It was time for her to leave. So I encouraged it. He was a okay dad, wasn't the best husband to her. So being in that environment at times wasn't healthy for us. But we stuck together. But my mom had to make the move because we were too young to do anything. So she had to be the one to leave, or you know what I mean?
That's right.
Adjust and make the transition.
That's good.
So, and then we just went along with her. We went to whoever was safe, right? And she was the safe one in the scenario. So, I would hug your little brothers, hug your siblings tight, and just talk with them. You know what I mean? At least give them a space. I know I needed my sisters. You know what I mean? I needed my sisters when we went through that. And so we just kept talking, even if it was just to each other. We remained close in the process. And so I do agree with Tim that seek as much advice and counsel as much as you can. And then I don't know what scenario your mom can do. I don't know what limitations she has. I know we just had to make it work, whether we stayed with family or we moved away. My mom just did what she needed to do to survive and make sure she was alive. So, but that was back then, right? So maybe I would encourage to try to find as many resources of ways of help and aid and assistance as much as your mom can. And you keep being in school. You keep doing what you have to do as well. And but just know that living in a toxic environment isn't something that I would want you to perpetuate as you get older.
That's good.
So as you see these things happening now, and as you're learning, as you're going to go through it, make sure that it's something that you're watching and learning for yourself, that you can also see the signs, what to look out for whenever you get older. And don't let this be a scenario that thwarts you from ever wanting to get married. You know what I mean? Or feeling like, I don't ever want to get married because I don't want to go through this.
Yeah, for sure.
Your relationship may not be this way.
Yeah.
So for now, stay in school, grow as much as you can. Love on your siblings. And if you need encouragement to your mom, maybe she can do what she, again, I just know what my mom did. Mm-hmm. She got out of there. Mm-hmm. She found a place. She found a resource. She asked around. Like sometimes in cases like that, especially if there's abuse, you don't have time for pride. Right? You don't have time for pride, right? You got to do what you got to do.
Got to bust a move.
Then that's what we did. Yeah. That's what she did. And then we went with her. Scenarios could be, I don't know what the scenario is. I don't know if your mom works. I don't know if your mom has money. I don't know if dad is there. He controls the money. So see, I don't know the details of the situation. And so it's hard to just say go if there's nowhere to go. She's not going to keep you guys out in the street.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe do your best to start talking, encourage her to start talking and seeking advice and counsel from somewhere. There's definitely plenty of places you can go to for shelter, aid, or help. If you're in a scenario, I don't know how intense the scenario at home is either. So, it's a little.
She did
difficult.
say, unfortunately, he's still there. So
she did say, unfortunately, he's still there. But I don't know if that's.
Yeah, we don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know to the details of what that means. So
I'm intrigued by this though, and I would like your insight on this. We've heard countless people throughout the years say, I'm only still here for the kids.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe in certain situations that's noble at all.
Sure. For sure.
I think you do more harm to the children.
For sure.
By staying.
Yes.
Than leaving.
Yes.
I know it's not one size fits all.
Yes.
But I just think there's too many people that I just stay because of the kids. Well, that's why your kids went crazy.
Correct.
Because you kept them in such a dysfunctional environment.
Well, that's because they have misplaced value. Right? So when you are a person who's being verbally, emotionally, or just abused in any way, your values, because you're staying, I know that the values are now troubled. Right? So they're not stabilized. And now the misplaced value is, well, I'm putting emphasis on, I want my kids to be in a 2-parent home. That's where now the value is placed. I want them to be in a 2-parent home. I'm not thinking that even though this 2-parent home is unstable or unsafe or abusive, that's less important than them being in a 2-parent home.
Yeah, that's very insightful.
It's misplaced value.
That's good.
Especially if you are already, you are a misplaced value. Right?
You've devalued yourself.
You have devalued yourself.
That's good, Drew.
So you don't have really a true cognizance of where the values should go anymore.
Right.
Because you're even misplaced.
Right.
So one thing that is often important in a parent's mindset is, I just want my kids to grow up with I want my kids to have two parents, that they need their father, they need their mother, they need this person, they need that figure in their life. Yes, it may not come through the person you're with.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, they may not need to be in your home at the same time. Maybe you
Yes.
go see that joker
Yes.
for 48 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I can get you a mentor that could be a mother figure or a father figure. Right. I'll get you a friend
Yeah,
that's been
absolutely.
great to the
Your
family.
uncle is
your
better than
uncle
your
is
daddy.
gonna be, yes, exactly.
Your auntie is better than your mama.
Right. But when you have misplaced value,
Yep.
it puts off.
Yep.
Right.
Yep,
So it takes almost a point of detriment, severe detriment,
Yep.
to say, this is so bad, I gotta go.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, again, I'm beyond the situation of the young lady now, but to a person, is it they've hit me this last time too hard? Right.
Yeah.
Did this bottle or this scar cracking over my skull or this bottle breaking over my skull, was that the last straw?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Was them cursing me out? Was that the last straw
In
for me?
front of the kids.
In front of the kids.
Yeah.
Was them abusing the kids in front of me, and I got paralyzed and didn't do anything? Was that the last straw? Right. So for some people, there's always a last draw. For other people, the last straw was too late because their life didn't make it.
That's right. They died.
Right? They died.
We know it.
So for someone that has a little bit of strength left, their value may have been so diminished, but there's something left that says, okay, this was too much.
Yep.
Right? It should have been too much a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure.
But this point here was too much, and now we've got to go.
Yeah.
How can we escape?
Yeah.
So now it's more of an escape route, trying to survive,
Yeah.
than leaving on your terms.
Yeah.
Right. And because you now have to put to the side of your brain, that value is now not as important as our life is at stake.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right. So
I need
something
to live.
really hard. Yes. But it takes something really hard sometimes for them to make such a drastic move, because oftentimes this value is so high of, that's their dad or that's their mom.
And we have to also, I've talked about this with Dr. Jenna Mountain as well. The church has made it almost impossible.
Oh, yeah. If we bring the church in.
Because
that's even without the church. But yeah, if you bring the church in.
You bring the
have
church
made it
in,
impossible.
and then they'll literally tell you to go back home to a monster.
Oh, they'll tell you to stay.
Male or
and
female.
make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
'Cause
not that person.
God hates divorce.
Yeah, no.
Well, he also hates people that don't respect their marriage.
That's
vows.
right. That's right. God is not in love with the idea of divorce.
Right, absolutely.
More than he loves the people in it,
That's
in
exactly
the
right.
relationship.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So no, I don't agree with that at all, and I think the church has done a poor job often.
Yeah.
You can find one or two pocket churches that actually care about marriage and couples of divorce and abuse families that offer services like that. It's not always often, but if you could find a good, solid church that believes in that, you'll get a good support system to help navigate that. But no, I'm not going to tell everybody to stay. I don't think every marriage should work. Right? There are some marriages that you need to go and run for your life.
Not everybody should have got married.
Not everybody should have got married in the first place. And we talked about that before many times. But yes, as far as it comes, I think that's the mindset. And it's hard to get people to change their mindset and their ideals
That's
and their
absolutely
values.
correct. Absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
it just takes something stronger to dethrone it. But it's often harder, right? It's more life-threatening.
That's right.
To dethrone the value that you place so high.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, you gotta adjust to say there are other people that can be better influences in my children's life and in my life, right?
Yeah.
And count your losses.
Yes.
And be okay with you. Be okay with your decision. Like, you know what? I thought it was good. He turned out to be a psychopath. I gotta go. She turned out to be a psychopath. I gotta go. Like legitimate.
Juice, you are helping somebody right now.
I hope so.
Count your losses are my feet in her shot? Because
It doesn't matter.
she just made me stretch my legs. Like literally, like counting your losses is a big deal. Like
It is a big deal.
People don't know when to call it. You gotta know when to hold them.
It's too much
Know
investment,
when to fold them.
too much pride, too much time invested, too much heart invested, too much people invested, right? So it's hard to count your losses when you've invested so much, right?
Child,
so you're
sometimes
thinking
stuff is
about
just over.
it is, but you're considering all that, and they don't often realize that you're losing more the longer you stay in a legitimately abusive relationship. Legitimately abusive. I'm not talking about like what we were saying earlier. You just want to quit because you just want to be lazy and not do no work. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about legitimate abusive relationships.
Absolutely correct.
Verbally or whatever. And
Yeah.
they're not trying to do the help. Nobody's trying to do better. No one's trying to get the help. No
Yep.
one's trying to get their work done.
Yep.
Right? You just having your own way. You're talking reckless. You're acting reckless. You're behaving reckless. You're bringing diseases home. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what people do.
They do.
People bring diseases home to their marriage.
They do.
They do. So that's
Like
what I'm talking
dogs
about.
with fleas.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you're not doing anything to fix that. This is when you got to count your losses, and that's what people don't want. They don't realize all the investment, but the longer they stay, they're losing more. So
Count your losses, name them one by one. Count your losses, see what they have done. Count your losses, name them one by one. Count your many lessons, tell them this wasn't fun.
it's hard to start over. It's just hard to start over. And so I understand it's a big deal to make. That's why, again, you have to put value on your vows. As you were saying earlier, you locking in with this person, you got to make sure you are locking in with the right person. Don't just lock in with any old body. Don't just lock in because they're cute. Don't just lock in because of what they add to you or what you think they're going to give you. And you got to be so much more committed. You got to be anchored, because I'm telling you, it's too much going in on both parts. And it's so much, it takes a lot to unlock it. So you got to know who you are committing your soul to.
Yeah, for sure.
This soul tie with this other person.
That's
and
right.
that's not even the emotional part.
No, it's not.
That's not even the emotions
That's
or the
right.
mental.
That's right.
So, please don't just get with any old body. Please let it be so meaningful. Take all the time in the world when you guys are connecting up and hooking up with people.
Thank you, Holy Spirit. Let me say this.
Yes.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Galilea, who was the young lady that
yes.
left the voicemail. Tio and Tia, I wish I could hug
hugging
y'all
you.
right now. I needed that.
Great.
And I am learning because of you guys. I've grown so much. We love you so much, Galilea. So let me say this to, and we'll wrap up with this. It's 1:57. I want to, because this whole count your losses it gives people permission that the church is really, really uncomfortable with, right?
Yeah.
Because we are empowering people, right, to not stay in abusive relationships. But I want to deal, and this goes back to something we addressed a couple of hours ago, but it's this notion that when a marriage goes through this decline and then we realize it's dead, like it's dead and I have to leave or I'm not going to be okay because I'll be tethered to a dead body. And the only thing that can happen if I'm tethered to a decaying corpse is I'm going to die too.
Yep.
Right? And so here's what people start thinking. Where did I go wrong?
For sure.
I thought God told me to marry this person, and maybe God didn't tell me to marry this person, and it was my fault for me. Well, so here's the thing. When you exchange vows, it wasn't a one-time exchange.
That's right.
You are exchanging these vows and making this decision for this person over and over and over and over and over again. And God could have divinely put y'all together, and he could divinely had a plan for your life. But if one of you makes the decision not to stay faithful to God
Number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Not to keep your vow to God.
Right.
And this person. Then this is when the enemy gets to come in.
And have a field day.
And have a field day. So if the marriage winds up ending, I don't want you to feel like you miss God and we were together 15 years, but I must have missed God and maybe I shouldn't have married him 16 years ago. No, I shouldn't have met him. No. He or she loved God back then.
That's right.
And and they were good up until like maybe year 13.
Yep.
And they stopped following the Savior.
Right.
If they stop following the Savior, they're going to definitely stop following you.
That's right. That's right.
If they stop being committed to him, they're going to definitely stop being committed to you.
That's right.
If they definitely stop listening to his voice, they definitely going to stop listening to your voice.
That's right.
So I don't want people out here penalizing themselves over somebody else's stupidity.
That's right.
And with that,
it's true. It is true.
I love all of y'all.
Yeah. Oh, I love you guys.
Wait, last thing. What's your favorite meal to eat together on a date?
Favorite meal to eat together on a date?
On a date?
Yeah.
On a date, it would probably be sea bass.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like fish.
Yeah, we love fish and we love sea bass.
Yeah.
Can
we do this every Wednesday?
Did y'all just decide to just throw
Golden
in
Grams.
like a Q&A at the end of us doing a Q&A?
I just like hearing what you like. That's
Yeah. Like it's no sea bass. If we go on a date,
That's true.
My favorite meal of all time is breakfast. I could have breakfast.
We can have breakfast all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. I like Thai food.
You love Thai food.
I love Thai food.
You love Thai food.
Yep.
And I love egg drop soup. That's not Thai food, but it's Thai food.
You know,
it's
in
Chinese food.
In the realm.
Yeah.
It's
So I
in the realm.
love Chinese food. I'm from Cali. How can I not love Chinese food?
True that. I don't know. We'll share a cookie together. We like cookies.
We do like cookies. We do like cookies.
I like chocolate chip cookies.
Yes,
I will
you do.
say that. I like chocolate chip cookies.
But Juliette has this really like psychopathic way of eating her cookies.
He's mad. He doesn't like the way I eat my cookies. It's my business.
So she takes a cookie, right? And she pours a glass of milk.
Cookies and milk.
No. She throws the whole cookie in the milk and just walks away. Psychopathic. She drowns the cookie.
It's my cookie though. It's going in the same place.
No. Say it again. It's my cookie though.
It's my cookie
No,
dough.
it's actually your cookie dough because that's what it's turning into. She drowns it. She doesn't dip it. She leaves it in there and she walks away. She goes to do something else.
I want it soft.
No. She comes back to get it. It disintegrates in her hand.
I'm here
it's
for it.
literally turning back into the ingredients.
Just
it's
get a spoon.
Milk, butter, sugar, and cookie dough. It's psychopathic.
It's my way. You know what I mean?
It's terrible.
You don't have to eat it. That's the way I like my cookies. I like
But
it
Golden Grams,
submerged
dry.
in my milk.
Yeah, she does. So cookies go in milk. Golden Grams, dry.
Nice and dry.
Straight
As
up.
a snack.
Straight up. A whole box of Golden Grahams.
It's downstairs.
I didn't even know they make that cereal
They
anymore.
make Golden Grams.
Golden Grahams are crazy, fam.
I got some dwellers in there that like Golden Grams. Oh my goodness.
Well, I love you guys.
Oh, it's time to go.
Now
Thank you,
it's
guys.
time to say goodbye.
I've been in here. There he is, Cookie Monster.
Somebody put that y'all two. This is why I love Discord.
I love it.
Because
They're so fast.
you can get to do gifts and everything in Discord. You don't get to do that on the live chat.
I
but
love it.
hey,
That is me.
I really appreciate everybody in YouTube live chat. Thank you all for being with us. Over 1,000 have been in there or more for this
Thank you guys.
little special. Everybody that asked their questions on Discord, obviously, we were never going to get to everybody's question. This would be a 12-hour pod, and that's not how my life is set up today.
This just reminds us of the Talk on Tuesdays we used to do.
This is Talk on Tuesdays.
This is Talk on Tuesdays. This is Wednesday.
Hey, can y'all do me a favor? Because can y'all just agree with me that my wife's gorgeous? Like, I know
You are sweet, baby.
you're just
You're
a
so kind.
beautiful person.
Thank you, sweet man.
Inside and out.
Thank you.
You have so much wisdom. You have so much. You just have so much depth.
Thank you, sweet
They
man.
like, I know they want you on here every week, but you're Jamaican and you have too many jobs to be here every week. I just want y'all to know it's not me like blocking. Like I'm not, it ain't like Tim don't have his wife on. No, my wife has 22 jobs.
Well, I'm building a thing for the people.
She's building a
I'm
thing for
building
the
things.
people.
No,
She
not
act-
even in my she shed.
And no, she's actually building a thing for the people.
I'm building
And
a lot of
so-
stuff for you guys.
Yep. So
coming.
Keep an eye on upsettheworld.com because that's where all those things will manifest. She's also building things for people in her sheet shit.
I am
My
building
wife.
things.
My wife has a very full life. I, on the other hand, don't. I don't even make time to do anything else except talk. Juliette doesn't. Juliette's like, I have time to talk to y'all today. I will bless you with my
That's not
presence
true.
today.
That's not true.
But don't ask next week.
That's not true.
I got things to do.
I will make time for you guys anytime.
So
Quick notes, Tim.
Yep.
Chris Broussard drops tonight, and then you'll be in New York next week for a live stream.
that's right. Yes, Chris Broussard drops tonight. That is a great episode with Chris. I cannot wait for y'all to see it. We had a great time, and then next week we turn NYC into NYB, and so Dwellers Unite. We are going to be doing a live show. We got 100 people. It's already sold out for the live show during the day. It's already sold out for the live show at night with Chris Durso. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
It's gonna be really good. I love you guys so much.
Yay.
We love you very much.
Yeah, we do love you guys so much. Thanks
And,
for having me on for Valentine's special. Hector, Derek, I love you guys.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And I love all the dwellers.
You're so cute. I can't even take it. Okay. We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
Press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be. Yeah, so press B with me, and let's let whatever gon' be just be.